Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your friend Bats. My name is Jared, and this is Superman Action Comics to Hell and Back. It's written by Philip Kennedy Johnson, Dan Waters, Gene Luen Yang, and a frick ton of other people. And this book kind of lied to me. This is what it was. This does not happen at all on the cover. And there isn't really this scene either. And it says darkness falls on the super family and the dawn of DC. And the last volume, this is volume 2. The last volume was basically like a super family super book. And then I was like pretty excited to get the next one. I really liked the first volume. I think Philip Kennedy Johnson is a great Superman writer. And so, yeah, I was looking forward to more adventures with the super family by Philip Kennedy Johnson. And it wasn't that. It wasn't that at all. What this book actually is an anthology book of different super characters and their short stories. So this is basically all the backup stories that were in Action Volume 1, I'm guessing, because and some of them were cool, some of them weren't. This Supergirl Doomsday one was pretty good with Martian Manhunter, and I did like this one. This one was good. However, the most of the chunk of this book wasn't good. That's the problem. So like it starts off good, and then we get this. I don't know who this character is outside of this story, but he's basically Spawn. I mean, he's a black guy with a big cape, with a big collar. He's got chains on. He's got the same colors, and he's called like the Superman of Hell. Look at, like, he's basically Spawn, which I like Spawn, but when I'm buying Superman, I'm not expecting Spawn, but whatever, right? And then we get this stuff, stuff with Keenan Kong and the Super Twins. I do like this artist, the Grey Capullo clone. What's his name again? Bogdanovic, something like that. I do like his art. And then we get this story. This one was hard to read. This is Connor Kent being... He's changing. He doesn't know who he is or what he is. And so he's going to dye his hair red, and Ma Kent doesn't care for it. And he has this moment with McGann, and then he just becomes an instant jerk to her. And then they do this like thing where he's kind of reliving his life, but as Superman, but he doesn't know who he is because they keep, DC essentially keeps changing Connor, and then he becomes even more of a jerk to her, and then she calls him Connie, and then Ma Kent is upset with him for coming home late. And he's kind of just like, shut up, old lady, and goes in his room. And that was that. And I'm not going to... There you go. That's why that story wasn't good. This was... The art is fantastic in this chapter. Very cartoonish, but it's with the Super Twins. And they're from another planet. They don't They've never been to a parade. They go to a parade. They get themselves in mischief. Superman comes and helps them. And that's the end of that story. And it's kind of the only time Superman shows up in this entire book, other than on covers. This story was a story. It was a lot of dialogue about teenagers in bathtubs, in beds, and they're mad that they don't get to spend enough time with each other anymore, and so then they do, and they eat tacos, and that's about that. This part, though, the night terrors stuff, this was really good. This part I really liked. This was the Philip Kennedy Johnson stuff, and so it's kind of like a horror movie with the super family, and it was a lot of fun. It was really cool. Good visual. Like, you got cyborg crypto, and yeah, it was good. This part was really enjoyable. I liked this part. So pretty much the first two stories and the last two stories were good, but the other stuff with Connor and the super twins and John and Jay just wasn't doing it for me. Yeah, it was. I'm worried about buying volume 3. Like, I buy Action Comics and I get the action books, but I'm like, is it going to be another one of these? And I looked at volume 3 and kind of is. But I'm like, do I get it because I want to see the Supergirl stuff and then the Philip Kennedy Johnson stuff? I don't know. Maybe I'll flip through it at like a Barnes & Noble or something. But yeah, this book, I can't really say I recommend it, but I did like a few stories in it. So that's my thoughts on Action Comics to Hell and Back. That's kind of how I felt reading this sometimes. All right, so thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Peace.